Yo, and welcome to Gaming Waffle, my new YouTube show that I hope to have out every Wednesday. I do have a first episode that I did record that was meant to come out last week and it didn't, so forward to the actual first episode coming out soon when I get a chance. It's basically going to be a show where I talk without a script about random things. It's going to be like the One Piece arcs as I finish them. It's going to be Formula One stuff, maybe some news and stuff, all being talked over as you watch me play things like Powerwash Sim or Painter Sim, which I've now got. Nice, relaxing things whilst I just talk to you guys about random stuff. So, one reason the One Piece one that I've already got recorded has been pushed back is because I wanted to do my F1 predictions. I was making a big video about it. I gave myself too much work. It became too long. I didn't get out in time. And once the first race has gone, I do want to quickly give my predictions, which I will do in a second. But yeah, I do have one more video that's coming out next week on the Sabadi Archipelago arc in One Piece. I also want to do another quick one about Fernando Alonso. And as I'll explain in the One Piece one, there might be Formula One reviews in them. It's just going to be random stuff over the top of this kind of stuff because I'm not very good at editing things together, and you don't want to look at me talking. I don't have a face fit for camera. So you can watch some Power Wash. Power Wash is fun. So my predictions, even though I'm a race late, I thought I'd get them out still. It'd be fun to then look back at them at the end of the year and see how wrong I was. I already feel like I'm going to be pretty wrong with some of these, but we'll give them a go. So in reverse order, I'll start with number 20. I have put Logan Sargent. He had an amazing first race, actually. It gives me hope that the Williams are going to be much higher up than I thought they were going to be. I've got him in 20th. I've got Albon in 19th. Sargent had an amazing first race, though. I can't remember where Alex came in the first race. I do think the Williams, they're possibly going to be at the back of the grid. I do feel like, whilst I'm saying they're going to be 20th, 19th, and then you've got 18th and 17th, I feel the second half of the grid are going to be very, very close. There's only 10 positions there's going to be, and there's quite a few teams at the top end blocking a lot of those places out. So I do feel all of these drivers will get points here and there during the year. Someone's going to come last, and I put Logan Sargent because he was the rookie. And I feel bad because I genuinely actually want him to do really well. I like him. I'm hoping he'll do well. As I said, in 19th, for much the same reason as Albon. 18th and 17th. 18th is Hulkenberg, K-Mag, and 17th. Again, for pretty much the same thing. I've put Hulkenberg below K-Mag. Mainly because I don't like Hulkenberg as much as K-Mag. It is kind of biased. I don't think there's going to be anything in them. I genuinely feel they're the same driver. Like you might like one over the other like I do, but they're pretty much the same driver with the same kind of results, the same kind of mentality. I genuinely feel the Haas in the second half of seasons tends to drop off a lot, and I feel like they might end up being down there just because they don't develop as much as some of the other teams. But again, they had a really good showing, and I hope I'm wrong. I mean, this is the thing. People have to come in these bottom spots, and I don't want any of them to come in the bottom spots. But genuinely, Williams and Haas, I don't see them beating AlphaTauri. In 16th, I've got Tsunoda. I like Tsunoda. I really like Tsunoda. I don't know. I don't think he's going to gel with De Vries. I know De Vries had a poor showing, but I do feel De Vries has like the drive to do really. Or did he have a poor showing? He might not. If I might be thinking of someone else, but he has the drive. He's got into Formula One late. I feel he has the drive. Tsunoda, I don't know. I don't think he's got the temperament. I do feel there is a part of him that is gonna, without like the comfort of having Gasly with him, I do feel like he might fall off a little bit. It's sad though. I like Yuki, but I do feel like he'll be 16th. 15th, I've got Guan Yu. Again, I love Guan Yu. I do feel like he needs to step up to Bottas. I don't think he's got it in him. I hope he proves me wrong, as I hope everyone proves me wrong. I will say that so much of this. I'm sorry. But yeah, I just genuinely feel Tsunoda, Guan Yu, they're kind of the weakest of the non-rookies, because obviously the rookies get a pass, kind of, because they're rookies. But I would love to see Guan Yu do really well, as well. I have a soft spot for Yuki and Guan Yu. In 14th, I've got De Vries. Don't know anything about him other than his drive for Williams last year. I do think he's going to be one of the stronger of the rookies. I had him below Piastri. I do have him below Piastri. But I genuinely, after last week, maybe Maybe the McLarens are going to be at the bottom of the grid, guys. Maybe. The McLarens didn't look very good today. No. But yeah, I think he's going to be about 14th. Nothing on his talent. I feel he's going to get points. Again, the top 8 spaces, I think, are like blocked out by big teams. So all of these drivers are going to be fighting for the small amount of points and bigger points when other drivers have accidents and stuff. I feel De Vries is going to get a couple points. He's going to be impressive. But 14th is a good place for a rookie in an AlphaTauri. You know, it's not a bad place to be. 13th, I've got Bottas. Bottas was the man I always forgot when I used to watch Formula 1. I never remembered Bottas. He's become a bit of a curse with his mullet and mustache helmet that he had, at least in testing. But I genuinely feel Bottas, he's probably the strongest of all of these guys in like the cars that aren't going to perform as well or maybe won't upgrade as well. I do think with his experience from Mercedes, just how long he's been in Formula 1, he's going to do pretty well. He's definitely going to outshine Guan Yu again. 13th is about where I think he'll be. I do genuinely feel maybe the McLarens are going to be lower than I put them, but I was hoping for more from the McLarens. Because 12th, I've got Piastri. He comes with such big hype that you feel he has to do well. And that's not fair on him, but he has to do well. So I have him at 12th. I do think that my boy Norris is going to beat him. But 12th is a good place. I put Stroll in 11th, and I feel bad for Stroll because he actually really did well last week. You know, Stroll actually proved a lot of people wrong. He come in, he did have his accident with his like clash with Alonso, but he come in after having an operation and did well. He's probably going to be higher, but I put him 11th because he does make a lot of mistakes, so I feel that is going to play a part in it. 10th, I put Ocon. 9th, I put Gasly. I just feel like the Alpine is going to be the best of the rest. I feel Alpine is going to be a bit below Aston Martin. They're definitely going to be below Fernando Alonso just because I wish it. 100%. That's how it works. I wish that Fernando Alonso does well. It happens. You know it does. It did happen last week. I always thought Aston Martin was going to go in a bit strong. The way they talked, the big talk, I just believed in it. I fell into the hype. And they were there in Bahrain. They were there in Bahrain. So I put Ocon in 10th and Gasly in 9th. Again, because I like Gasly more. I just think he's a little bit better. Norris in 8th. That's my heart talking. I bloody love Norris. And I do hope he does very well. The weekend doesn't say it's going to happen, though. Alonso I put in 7th. Now I wish I put him higher. Now I wish I put him like 3rd or something. He blew us away last week. There's going to be a whole video about Fernando Alonso coming up. Because I love Alonso. But yeah, I put him in 7th because I genuinely do think the other teams, they just have that power behind them to do better. I feel like they're going to upgrade faster. They're going to get there. So I hope that Alonso stays up top. I hope that Aston Martin does well, but I put him in 7th. And this was before last race. So like, that I felt this was, you know, hoping too much. Now I'm thinking I'm hoping too small, you know. In 6th place, I put Perez. I feel bad about putting Perez there because I love Sergio, but I put him in 6th. Sadly, that is where he went. I do think he's going to play second to Verstappen. That is not even a question. I do feel he is... I don't know. Why did I put Perez in 6th? I feel like I thought the Mercedes were going to do much better, so I knew that Russell and Hamilton would end higher. And then Red Bull came and just annihilated everyone at this race. So I already feel bad for saying 6th, but I'm not changing it. This is how it's proof that I haven't changed it because of Bahrain. Because I would have put Perez in 2nd. He's in 6th though. 5th, I put Sainz. Sainz, along with Alonso and Perez, are my favourite drivers. In fact, Sainz, Perez, Alonso, Norris, Gasly, pretty much the drivers I support, all in a row there. I do think he is not slower so much as he's just not... I don't know. Like, Leclerc is a once-in-a-generation talent, along with, like, Verstappen. I just feel like Sainz doesn't have everything he needs. I do feel like Ferrari will this year, at the halfway point, go, we're going with Leclerc. I feel at the minute they're saying they don't need a second driver to keep the Sainz family happy. And midway, they'll be like, we're going with Leclerc. So I do think he's going to drop behind. And then put Hamilton in 4th and Russell in 3rd. Like most of the ones that have the drivers in the same team together, I don't think there's going to be anything between them. Again, it's preference. I like Russell. I've not ever been really a big fan of Hamilton. I want Russell to have a good year. This is literally the only reason he's in 3rd and Hamilton was in 4th for me. Because last year everyone said he was lucky. You know, no matter what he did, he was just lucky. He was the lucky one. He got lucky. You know, he beat Hamilton on luck. There was no talent in there. He was just lucky. And I want Russell to beat him fairly and be, you know, high up in the standings so that he can just like cement that he is the future of Mercedes. Because whilst I'm not saying Hamilton's not going to win another championship, he probably will. He is one of the best drivers that's ever driven. I do want Russell to be known as, you know, the up-and-coming Mercedes star. I don't want him to fall into, like, a Bottas role. I don't want him to have to, like, turn into Nico Rosberg to win a championship. I want him to look like the future of Mercedes, because they need a future, because Hamilton's not going to drive forever. Though, if he's like Alonso, he might. So, that might be completely false as well. That might be a prediction that comes and bites me in the ass in 20 years. In second place, I put Leclerc, mainly because I just don't think Verstappen's going to be stopped. Verstappen is my number one for the year. I hope the best for Leclerc. I know he had engine problems on the weekend. Really sucks. Not the way Ferrari needed to start. I've never been a Ferrari fan as a team. My team is Williams, which is why I want Williams to do well. I've always supported Williams. Ferrari have never been my team. They've always been a team that I've just looked at and went, how the hell have you done this? And they've started off the year and you look at them and you go, how could you do that to Leclerc? Like, technically, it's not really their fault. It was an engine failure, but, like, I don't want him to be the number one focus all year long, because I don't believe in number two drivers until, like, midway through the season. That's how I would run a Formula One team. Because, you know, on any given day, I'd want to say that both of my drivers could win a championship, you know, if I was running a team. So I'd never want there to be a clear number one. But in Italy, there is a clear number one. And Ferrari need to start seeing that there is a clear number one for the fans in Italy. And they are gonna get prosecuted. They're gonna be set on fire by the Italians if they don't clear up. Verstappen, Red Bull have got the car. Red Bull's got the car. Verstappen's just the driver. If someone beats Verstappen this year, Red Bull would probably drop the ball. He does make some mistakes when he's lower in the pack sometimes. I mean, every driver makes some mistakes when they're back in the pack sometimes. But I just, for him to be back in the pack, Red Bull have to drop. And I don't see them dropping. I don't see any team being able to get up to them. They're so, like, they'll get closer. I do think other drivers are going to win races. I do think the Red Bull might stop sometimes. But, in general, if Verstappen doesn't win, I'm going to be surprised. And that is my predictions for 2023. They have not changed since before the season. It took a little longer than I thought it was going to take. I didn't think I was going to be talking for near enough 15 minutes. So this might not even be 15 minutes when I cut it down a little bit, so ignore that as well. That's another thing that probably is completely wrong in this video, along with all of my predictions. But yeah, I will have a video out maybe on the weekend about Fernando Alonso. I haven't actually watched Bahrain. I watched the highlights. I do stream on Twitch, twitch.tv/worker89 on a Sunday, sadly over the race times. I probably will take some weekends off or stream later or whatever, or be able to watch the ones that are like weird times, not the middle of the day for me. But I didn't actually catch up with Bahrain, so I haven't really seen it. But going forward, I will possibly be watching the races after the fact and then doing like the Wednesday after a race being Formula 1 reviews set to Powerwash Sim. You know, so that is it for today. As I said, I'm hoping to get one out this weekend for Fernando Alonso, just because I want to get another one out about Fernando Alonso. There will be one next Wednesday about the Sabadell Archipelago One Piece arc, which, if you're watching a Formula 1 video, you might not be interested in at all, but just so you know. Then going forward, I do want near enough every Wednesday there to be a Gaming Waffle out. If I don't have anything to talk about, if I don't have a story to share, if I don't have something to say, there won't be one. But hopefully, fingers crossed, this will be a Wednesday thing. It will be something new. It's going to be boring for most people. No one wants to hear me yabber on for like 20 odd minutes. But it'll be fun. It will be a fun exercise to see if I can do this. So, thank you, as always. There's not going to be an ending. I did do an ending to my first one. The first one looks snazzy as hell. This one isn't going to look as snazzy. This one is going to not look snazzy at all. But, thank you so much. Please subscribe and like the video. Or subscribe to the channel and like the video if you enjoyed what you saw. Follow me on Twitch on twitch.tv/worker89, and I will see you soon. Thank you so much, and bye bye.